This week we're talking about how to make composite portraits. So you're going to take a portrait and you're going to combine it with multiple images and merge them together. So I have some images for you to download and follow along with this practice in Photoshop. And the first ones that we're going to do are going to be a combination of a water drop and a vase that we're going to clip together so that we're going to make them into one single composite image. So here's kind of an end result, and I'm going to go back and start this over. I have my image of the water droplet, and then over here I have my image of the vase. So what I want is to bring the image of the vase into the other one. So I'm going to take my quick selection tool and I'm going to select the area around. That did a pretty good job. And then I'm going to inverse my selection. So I'm actually just getting the vase, go up to select and choose inverse. And now I'll copy, keyboard shortcut Control C, and go over to my water drop image and paste it in, Control V, and it appears over here. The first thing I need to do to create what's called this clipping mask that you saw when I first opened this up, where I want the water drop to be inside of the vase, is I actually have to switch the layer order. I want to have the water drop on the top. So to make this work, I have the top image, or the top layer is what I want to be on the inside, and this only is going to work if, we just turn off all the other layers, the object that I'm putting my layer 1 into is only a single object, like it's selected. It doesn't have a background. The background is transparent, just like you were doing in your Create Something New. Okay, so I have a white background, I have layer 2 has my vase and a transparent background, and layer 1. I'm going to hold the Alt key down, and as I do, I'm holding the Alt key down and my mouse is in between layer 1 and layer 2, and you see how that changes. I'll just go up here from the hand icon to this other icon which indicates clipping, sorry, and then I'm going to click down, and that's what did it. It brought this layer, it clipped it into the layer over here. So this is basically working like a mask, which we dealt with in Erasure, and so we don't see the rest of the content. And now I can move things around, take my move tool, but if I have auto select on, and let's say I want to move the vase around, I keep just grabbing the water droplets. So when I'm working with the clipping mask, I often turn auto select off, and then I could work on the vase layer and I could move that around if I wanted to. I could put that in a different spot. I can still click on my layer 1 and I can move that around as well. All right, so that's the basic idea. You could also, by the way, right click if you're having a hard time getting to that clipping mask. I'll do release clipping mask. You could also right click in between these two and click on create clipping mask, and it does the same thing if you're having a hard time for whatever reason creating it through the Alt key. Another thing that I could do is, as you saw when I first opened up the image, there was kind of a mixture. It was like a gradient. I was seeing a little bit of the vase and the water drop. So that is creating a mask. So I'm going to go down to my create mask icon, click here, and I'm going to work with the gradient tool to create that soft gradient fade in of the mask. So over here in my toolbar I have the gradient tool, and to get this effect I want to go up to my options bar and I want to make sure that I am on the option that goes from black to transparent, not black to white but black to transparent. Make sure your foreground color is also on black. And then from the options over here, I want to be on the first one, the linear gradient. You're welcome to try all these other different kinds of gradients, but they're going to give a different effect. So I'm on the linear gradient and I'm on the black to transparent. So I'm going to start at the top, and to use the gradient tool, you click and you holding down the mouse drag, and I've dragged. And if you look over here at my mask, you can see that I have, it's black where I started to drag, and then it slowly fades down. If I hold the Alt key down on my mask, you can see just the mask. So this is the result of my gradient. Instead of it all being black and then white, I get this nice gradient of gray tones. And that's what's going to create that soft fade in. I'll do like a longer pull down on my gradient so I get more of a fade in. And you can see now I'm seeing more of the original vase here. So this is just one option that you may want to use for your composite portrait. In the next video I'm going to do some other things with the mask over here and working actually with a portrait.